leading the world in really retail consumer marketing and bring it here to Vietnam.
Why you like to compare Vietnam market with the China market and not any the Southeast Asia market like Thailand or Malaysian or Philippines?
I think Vietnam is going to grow so much quicker than the other Asian countries.
Southeast Asian countries
will grow much quicker.
Yes.
So I think I have to look to what China has done, because China has grown very quickly, very fast. And now China is the biggest consumer market in the world. The biggest.
Yeah, of course.
And what's happening is that Vietnam, with 92 million people, is going to be one of the biggest consumer markets in the world. The population in Vietnam is now bigger than any country in Western Europe. And also bigger than many countries in ASEAN and growing faster.
Yeah, how do you think about the education market in Vietnam? Because, I think Dell has a new policy in marketing. That is, last year, Dell announced that they opened the window of the world's knowledge beyond the classroom. So, so what happened to the education market in Vietnam?
Well, the great thing about Vietnam is everybody realizes the importance of education. And with a high proportion of young people, education is the future of Vietnam. And every time I come here, I'm impressed by the levels of service, the knowledge of the staff.
Yes.
And more importantly, I think, is that the English language ability for Vietnamese people is very, very strong. And of course, there is a large expat population of Vietnamese in the US, maybe 2 million, and they really help the transfer of knowledge from North America into Vietnam as well. And people, see, in Confucius societies in Asia, families and education are really the most important things.
So you have any special campaigns of marketing in terms of educational market in Vietnam?
Our goal is educating the consumers, the people of Vietnam, of how to buy the best possible product and then how to use it. So we're training our staff and our promoters. You're not just buying a computer, you're buying a change in lifestyle. So we're educating our staff to educate the consumers so that they can buy the best possible product for them. And when they go home, they know how to use it to enable them to change their own lives and increase their education.
You live and work here in the Asia Pacific for at least 20 years.
Close to 20 years.
Yeah. So what is your greatest lesson from the marketing from your job?
I think the greatest lesson is listen to the consumers. Market research is very important, and really look at the data and analyze the data, and really look for what we call consumer insights. What is motivating, what's important to the consumers in each market. And by the way, every country is different, and it's important to be very local and very relevant to the consumers. So global, local, we call glocal.
I think that you spend a lot of money for the market research.
Sure.
Okay. So for how about Vietnam?
Absolutely. We get market research from all the major companies, and we look at insights. So what motivates Vietnamese consumers, ethnographic, demographic, sociographic, and we put it all together, and that's the reason why we're launching products like this, and really products like this designed for the Asian consumer, bringing products here at the same time as they're launched around the world, because the young people in Vietnam, if you're in Ho Chi Minh, you have the same aspirations as a young person in New York, London, Paris, Beijing, Shanghai. So we've learned it's really important to get these products in the hands of the Vietnamese consumers at the same time as you launch around the world.
You just mentioned about the global values and the local values, but the market maybe is different, but the device, the computer, maybe is universal. How do you think about universal value and the different market?
Okay, it's a great point. I mean, a great point. So we have design centers in Shanghai and Singapore, and the big learning is that Asian consumers want small, thin form factors, because Asian consumers and Vietnam consumers are very mobile. They spend most of their life outside of home. So they want products they can carry around easily, look nice, so self-expression, they have to look good, and they have to be able to put into backpacks, in a pocket, and be mobile. Small form factor is very important to Asian consumers.
Thank you, Mr. Kính thưa quý vị đang theo dõi chương trình Nhà lãnh đạo doanh nghiệp với ông Chapman Banks, Phó Chủ tịch Tập đoàn Dell Corporation và Tổng giám đốc của vùng châu Á Thái Bình Dương. Xin quý vị nán lại với chúng tôi thêm vài phút với phần cuối của chương trình. Xin cảm ơn quý vị.
Tôi cũng chúc cho kênh FBNC về tài chính thông tin đến cho tất cả các bạn xem đài nhiều cái thông tin thật là hữu ích.
Chào mừng quý vị trở lại với chương trình Nhà lãnh đạo doanh nghiệp với ông Chapman Banks, Phó Chủ tịch Tập đoàn Dell và Tổng giám đốc của khu vực châu Á Thái Bình Dương. Trong phần cuối của chương trình, chúng tôi sẽ trao đổi với ông những cái cách thức mà ông cân bằng giữa công việc và nghỉ ngơi. You have done the very pretty stressful job. So how do you do for fun?
Well, I'm spend time with my family. Spend time with my daughter, who's 6 years old.
Oh, yeah, very happy.
So my daughter has lived in. My daughter was born in Hong Kong. My wife is from Beijing.
Oh,
so,
yeah. The 3 places for 3 persons.
Yes, so my daughter has lived in Hong Kong, Beijing, Shanghai, and Singapore. So 4 countries in 5 years. So family time is very important. And then I'm a big sports fan. So I love Liverpool Football Club. Always wanted to play for Liverpool, but cannot. And I'm an avid...
Don't tell me you played in a Liverpool team.
No, that would have been my dream. I wasn't good enough. I had to go into business. But really, I enjoy doing what we call triathlons, which is swimming, cycling, and then running. So I train for long distance running or train for triathlons. So it helps reduce the stress, keeps you healthy, and also traveling so much, kind of try and stay thin.
Yeah. How do you advise the young people who would like to have the successful business life and to be the CEO who's had a stressful job?
So I think a couple of things. What I've learned personally is that, first of all, hard work. You cannot be successful unless you are dedicated to working hard. And then really, the other important thing is you have to be passionate about what you do. You really have to believe in it. Because you're always going to have challenges. Every day, there's always challenges, and as we say in America, roadblocks. So it's important that you're hardworking, dedicated, and passionate about removing roadblocks, getting over challenges. And if you do that, you will be successful. And by the way, it's also okay to fail, because you have to learn from failure. I mean, all the most famous people in the world have all failed in every kind of business or sporting life. So you have to be dedicated, passionate, and don't be afraid of failure.
You seem very specialized in game. I think you're a good gamer.
I used to be many years ago.
Many years ago.
I loved playing Halo, which is a game from Microsoft Game Studio. I used to play Halo on Xbox. But I'm too old now. Even the 6-year-olds can beat me.
Yes. So how do you think about the games industry in the region? And maybe it's in Vietnam.
Well, so Vietnam, high proportion of young people. And at Dell, we've launched a product